In this demo, I'd like to show you WP Master Clone, cloning one WordPress site to another WordPress site via your local computer. Now, the benefits of this is it uses FTP transport, and you can also have a copy, i.e. a backup of your WordPress site on your local PC that you can restore at a later date. So when you first load up WP Master Clone Pro version, you click on Pro Clone mode and fill in your details. Once you've filled in your FTP details for the source site, then you click Test FTP, and you'll see down here and it says Source FTP tested OK. If anything happens that the FTP test fails, please don't put in a support ticket, because that is out of the realm of it's out of the scope of our support. What that'll be is either a local firewall issue, where you need to allow WP Master Clone in your firewall, or you need to allow the FTP ports in your local firewall, or your host needs to allow and open your FTP ports. So you either have to contact the person who administers your local computer or your host if you get a problem with Test FTP. Anyway, what I will do, you basically, that's your source details for your source site for WordPress. Then you put your WordPress admin. In this one, I'm using it in a subdirectory called test1, and I'm actually cloning to the same domain on this test. You can change that domain and put any domain you want, and we're going into another one, test2. So what I will do now is I will show you test1 and test2 in this browser. So here's test1. So if I refresh that page, so that's the site that we are going to clone, and we're going to put it on test2. So you press refresh for test2, and as you see, we've got a blank, fresh installed WordPress ready to clone onto. Okay. So what I will do now is I will start the stopwatch, and I will press go. I'll pause the video in between so it's not too long for you, and unpause it in relevant sections. Now, if you're wondering where the local image goes, if you go into your folder WP Master Clone, then you'll see another folder called Saved Clone Sites. So if we go there now, just refresh this folder, there's nothing there at the moment. If I go back in a minute, once it's created the clone and downloaded it, then you'll see the project files appear in the relevant folder there. Okay, now it says it's created the clone image, so that should be on our local computer. And there you go, it's downloaded complete 50% of it. So we'll just wait for the rest to finish, and then I'll refresh that folder, and you can see how the project files look. Okay, so now it's initializing for the restore of the clone on the destination site here. If I go back to our folder, and as you can see, it's already made the project folder. So if I click in there, and then you'll see the three files, the main data files and the project file. So all the clones that you create, whether it's created with clone only in pro mode, it'll go in this folder, or if you've cloned and restore, it'll also keep a copy in this folder as well. If you're wondering what this info down here is, this is for the geeks or the techies in you. If you don't understand it, don't worry. Basically, memory limit, that's the limit of the amount of the PHP scripts can use. Maximum execution time, that's how many seconds those scripts can run for. These settings can be changed in advanced clone mode here, if your host allows overriding of the PHP ini. If you don't understand them, put a ticket into your host and ask them to increase them if you need to, if you're doing larger sites, if you can't increase it in advanced clone mode. Okay, and then you've got your PHP version, your SQL version. It tells you the root directory where your install is, number of files, size, and there you go, database size. You can just see there it's just updated to the destination there. So this info is now for the destination. Like I said, if you don't understand it, don't worry, it's just there for information purposes really. Okay, so the clone is now uploading your clone project to the destination site via FTP. So I'll pause this again. Okay, so you can see that it says FTP upload finished. That means that the files have uploaded okay, and they're actually existing in your destination FTP site here. Okay, so now we're setting up the cloner ready for the restore process. Now the files have uploaded, everything's checked out okay. Now it's restoring the image ready. There you go, the image is restored. Now as you can see it says completing restore process. You might wonder what it's got to do even though the image is restored. Once the image is restored it still can have thousands, if not tens of thousands of entries in your database that need changing from your old site address to your new one. So what we're doing now is cleaning up the database, changing the entries, changing all your permalinks, things like that. There you go, and we finished. So it took around 14 minutes to do that particular site. Now people always asking how long does it take to clone a site? The answer to that is I can't answer that question. It depends on too many variables. You've got things like the speed of your computer, you've got the speed of your server, of your host where your site's at, you've got the speed of your internet, your upload speed, you've got the host speed of their server, you've got all the variables in between you and the route to the host. So there's so many things, and probably more, that can make things faster or slower. The size of your site, the size of the database. So you can't really answer how fast does it take to clone. That site there is an average site, and as you can see it took around 14 minutes. If you've got a big site it can take an hour. It could take a couple of hours, depends how big the site is. But an average site, we took 15 minutes there. I've got a pretty fast internet connection. If you've got a slow internet connection, that can go up a lot longer. Because don't forget, it's not just cloning the site, it's making a local backup too. So you can restore it at a later date to the same domain or another domain without the interference of a host or support. So I hope you've liked the video. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to put a ticket in at my client area, www.client-area.biz. Thanks for watching.